All right. Welcome to another episode of Levi in the Closet. Thank you guys for checking out my videos. If you haven't already, like the video and subscribe to my channel if you like the content that I'm putting out and anything related to, life and going through, the struggle of growing up and becoming a man, I guess you could say. Like, I'm really invested into, helping young men become their best self and learning and growing. So if you are looking for some kind of content like that, subscribe to my channel and I appreciate it. And if you want to connect with me, you can follow at Levi Acid on Instagram, and you can message me there if you have any kind of questions or topics you want me to speak on in my next videos. Any kind of, dating advice or just general life advice or just how I go about my daily activities, I guess you could say. Message me on Instagram at Levi Acid, and I'll be sure to message you back or make a video about it in the future. So getting into my item of the day, if you haven't seen my videos before, I show an item out of my closet. This is my FUBU, Platinum FUBU jersey. I love it. It's coming out a little bit at the stitches on the back right here, I guess. But you don't know about FUBU, I think it was in the 90s when this was really big. It was like a Walmart brand, and one of the investors on Shark Tank, I think his name is Damien. I don't know a whole ton about him, but I think he was the one that came up with this brand and was marketing it through Walmart, and it was a really big deal and just hip-hop culture, I guess you could say. I found this at Goodwill Bins, which is one of my favorite places to go. I haven't gone since I was in Washington. There were two that were in that area, but out here in South Dakota, the nearest Goodwill Bins I think is maybe Minnesota someplace. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe Iowa, I can't remember, but there's no Goodwill Bins around here, which is a shame, but I do love that. Going through the bins, rummaging, just trying to find some hidden gems in there. And, this one time I did find that, and that's where a lot of my clothes come from. More of my recent pickups just from regular Goodwill thrift shopping, but a lot of my really good gems I found at the Goodwill Bins. They charge by the pound, and so you can just load up with a bunch of clothes. And I can talk about that more in a future video, but I digress. So getting into my topic of the day, it's being grateful. And that's a very simple, it seems like a very simple topic, but at the same time, it's something I've been really working on, and going into 2023, that's my New Year's resolution, just to be more grateful, so I can get a little bit more in depth on that. I started seeing a bunch of Steve Harvey videos. If you know Steve Harvey, my man, he does like a talk show, and then also during Family Feud, he would take a break and he would talk to his audience, and you wouldn't see it on TV. But on YouTube or on Facebook, they would show little clips of him talking to the audience and giving like motivational speeches and kind of just telling them about life and different advice and stuff. But one that kept coming up was these different clips of Steve Harvey saying how you need to be more grateful, and like as soon as you wake up in the morning. And I'll do a little comparison here. Like how I would normally wake up would be, I wake up, I'm tired. I don't want to get out of bed. I hate it. I'm not a morning person. I'm a night person. So having to get up, like for my job, I wake up and I'm like, oh man, I hate going to work. And I'd say that to myself, like, man, I'm so tired of going to work. I hate waking up this early. Why do I got to be up? And just waking up in kind of a negative mindset. And that really starts off your day. Like how you begin your day, it will affect the rest of your day. Your mindset going into the day really affects how the rest of your day turns out. And so what Steve Harvey was saying is that you wake up in the morning and you start, you pray, and you, I laugh at that because maybe you're not spiritual, or maybe you're not religious at all, which I don't consider myself religious. I've said that in previous videos, but I do feel like I am spiritually inclined in my path of life. So I do pray. That's something I pray to my higher power. Maybe you do too, whatever that may be, the universe or God or whatever your higher power is. You wake up and you just say, you know what, thank you for waking me up today. And you're grateful for waking up, because that is a blessing and that is a gift, that you wake up in the morning. And so that was something that Steve Harvey was talking about, is how God wakes you up in the morning, and you may wake up by your alarm clock, but just before then, the ability to wake up, like you could be dead and your alarm clock is going off and that won't wake you up. It's God that decides whether you wake up or not. And, you could just not wake up tomorrow morning. You got to be grateful for that you have another day to live and that you get to experience what you are. So I started off with that. And my own mindset was, like, oh, I hate waking up. Like, why do I have to get up this early? Like, this really sucks. I don't want to go to work, and all these complaints, and start complaining in my mind and thinking all these negative thoughts about my day. And man, I don't want to go to work. It's cold and dark outside. I don't like it. But now what I've been trying to do recently is, similar to what Steve Harvey is saying, I wake up, and thank you that I woke up today and that I get to live another day and get to go out there and pursue my dreams and, work a job and try to save money. And then just from there, just start listing off the things that you're grateful for and that you're thankful for. And you don't necessarily have to be religious or spiritual to do this. You can just do this to begin your day with a positive mindset. Just go through all the things you're thankful for. You don't have to pray about it, but you just say, you know what? I'm glad that I get to, have breakfast, that I have food to eat. I'm glad that I have a roof over my head, because there's so many people that aren't as fortunate as I am. I have a house that's my own. I have a cat to keep me company. And these are just some of the things that I, when I pray, when I say, thank you for this. But you don't have to pray about it. You can just say, you know what, I'm grateful for things. Make a little list of all the things that you're grateful for in your life. Like, whatever that may be. Like if you're doing something exciting tonight or tomorrow, or you do something, you're like, you know what, I'm grateful for my friends, that they enjoy my company, and that I have people to have fellowship with, and that thank you that I have a brain that I can actually think. There's people out there that for lack of a better word, mentally handicapped, that you can actually go out there, you can speak clearly, and you can reason, and you have logic, and you can create things, and you can come up with different ideas and stuff. That's a huge blessing too, because there's other people that aren't as fortunate. There are people out there that act stupid, like, thank you that that I have the knowledge and the wisdom to not be an idiot. I appreciate that. That not all comes from me. That came from my life experiences, and that came from, I want to say God giving me that. That's one of my gifts, wisdom, and having understanding and being empathetic towards people. Like, that's a gift, and I appreciate that, because I could be so much worse off. I could be angry at the world and never see any fault in my ways and never learn and never grow. But every day is a new opportunity to learn from my experiences and what other people may consider a failure, or things that you're messing up at. I don't necessarily see it that way. I just see it as a learning experience. I've spoken on that in other videos too. But just some of those things you just go through and start listing off. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for this. And just coming out of Thanksgiving, a lot of people, they're in the the I'm thankful mindset, but really that should be every single day. You just find new things to be thankful for, because then it puts you in a better mindset. And especially in the morning, just getting out of bed, if you're the kind of person that's similar to me, and you hate waking up in the morning and you got to go to a job that you don't necessarily love, you can find other things and just put it in your mind instead of all these negative thoughts. Just have in your mind, like, you know what, I'm glad that I can actually go to a job. I'm making money. I may not love it, but I am where I need to be. This is where I'm placed in life, and this is just temporary. Like, there's something better for me, and I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful that I'm not where I was a year ago, because I wasn't necessarily doing as well as I am now. I was living with my parents in my parents' basement. I was also working a job that I didn't love, but my mindset has become healthier. I've become a better person. I've become healthier physically and mentally. So there's a lot of things that I'm trying to remember, like, be thankful for these things, because there are blessings and they shouldn't be taken for granted. So I wanted to kind of reiterate that to you guys, that there are things to be grateful for, and starting your day off with that in mind will put you in a whole different place. And I try to remember that throughout my day. Like, I do get frustrated at work, and I'm like, you know what, I'm grateful, because it's so easy to slip back into that negative, like, oh, I hate people, I hate my job, I hate dealing with this, I hate the weather, I hate this, like, maybe not hate, because that's a strong word, but in my mind, that's what I think. I'm like, man, I'm really so tired of this. Like, tired of this BS, you know? Which it does happen because there's a lot of stuff that happens outside of your control that is frustrating. But at the same time, there's so much more to be grateful for as well. This is only temporary. This is just a small part of your life, you know? And if you want something better for yourself, you're going to keep on going and trying to get better and become the best version of yourself you can possibly be. And that's a lot to be grateful for, you know? You just find the small things in life and don't dwell on this, you know? It may seem big at the time, but also the things that frustrate you are small things, you know? Next day, it's all in the past, you know? All the things that frustrate you today, tomorrow there's going to be a whole nother load dumped on you. Not trying to be sexual there, but there's going to be a whole big load dumped on you tomorrow of all the things that you could be negative about. But you got to just remain positive and keep your head up and just say, you know what? This stuff just happens, you know? This is life. But there are good things that happen too, you know? There's good and there's bad. And you got to find that balance in between and just say, you know what? I don't want to be the negative person that I used to be. That's where I'm at, you know? Just thinking how I used to be like a long time ago, back in like my late teens and early 20s. I used to be really negative and I would complain every single day. Like, I'd talk to my mom or I'd talk to my girlfriend at the time, you know, I'd just complain about every little thing. And sometimes, yeah, there is stuff I just need to kind of get off my chest, and I need I need somebody that can listen and kind of give me some comfort, but I'm not seeking that out every day and every little thing. There's some stuff that I've just let go of and just realized, like, you know what? The small stuff doesn't matter. Like, maybe somebody didn't treat me the best today, but I'm not going to let that affect me. I'm not going to let that affect me after the situation or the day before or even a week from then. I'm going to forget about it. You know, there's more stuff that I got to focus on. There's more to life than just focusing on all the negative stuff. So that's where I'm at, and that's one of my goals for next year. And I hope that you guys took a little bit away from this, that you maybe make that your goal as well. You know, for 2022, try to be more grateful. Just try to be more thankful. And whether it's to God, whether it's to yourself, you just say, you know what? I am grateful for these things. I'm grateful for, you know, make a list, maybe write it out physically, you know, make that a goal for 2023. You know, every day, if you have time in the morning, you just get a little piece of paper and just write out 5 things. You know, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for this, and I'm grateful for this. And then just carry that with you. And then remember throughout the day, just be like, you know what, I am grateful. Maybe add more to that list. And then eventually you don't need the paper. You just kind of in your mind, you're like, you know what, this situation I'm in right now, I'm grateful for this. You know, think about that and be conscious of that, that you are grateful for, you know, I have somebody at work that I get along with and that we can joke around and be goofy with, you know. Those are all those things, you know, just find small things in your day to be grateful for. I can't express that enough to you guys. But anyway, thank you for watching the video. Like and subscribe and follow Levi Acid on Instagram. And as always, love yourself before anybody else.